Yeah, yeah. Use all this pain, use all this hurt, grow me. Yeah.
So first thing I want you to do, Dareyon, just give us a quick run through of your life. So like from childhood, you are Dareyon.
That's heavy. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Born and raised right in Lauderhill. Shallow side for all my people.
I was just
Okay.
For
all my people, right. Man, grew up in a family of 5. I'm the youngest of us all. Mom and dad was in the home, so that was something that was rare coming from our demographic, but very, very grateful to have both parents in the home. I was a very sports oriented child, clinged on to football and basketball at a very young age, which carried me to my next city, my next state, Michigan, where I played college football. I received a scholarship to play college football. I was there for 4 to 5 years. It was a great time. Was in Kalamazoo. Got to throw it up for them people too. From there, I transitioned after graduation to Chicago. Spent a couple years there. It was the brightest and darkest times of my life. Things that I think that we'll get into as we're talking, but I really love that place. It helped me grow up a lot, and here we are back in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I've been for the past 4 or 5 years now, and we thriving, we living life. So
have you ever been broken?
Broken.
Think you've ever been broken?
Yes.
You've been broken.
I've been broken. That's a very heavy term.
Okay,
right.
It is. That's why I said you've been broken.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. Yesterday I was talking to a young lady, and we were talking about broke. And she was like, I'm tired of being broke. She around my age. And I said, yeah, it is. You know, you have to find a passion for what you want to do. But I said,
monetize.
I'm going somewhere with it. I said, you have to find a passion for what you want to do, because you don't want to be broke, right? And you also want to have fulfillment. And if you don't ever find that fulfillment, that's the pathway from broke to broken. And she was like,
Come on, young women.
And, you know, I felt that in my soul. So I expressed it to her. You know, it wasn't warranted, but her saying I don't want to be broke anymore, it led me to there. So like I said, I have been broken in the sense that my spirit was shattered, and it came from, it was a fruit of me being sick. We just gonna get into it. It's the elephant in the room. I had cancer twice, Hodgkin's lymphoma. I was 22 years old, and it came from nowhere. You know, it's the type of disease that is very rare, 5,000 cases per year on average. In the male from age 25 to 40, they don't know where it comes from. There's no historical or data research that says, hey, if your parent had it, or if you do this. The closest thing that they have to it right now, it's a reoccurring type deal, is football players. A lot of guys in the NFL have it. Long story short, first bout, I went through chemotherapy. It was very different in the sense that even the doctor told me in his 50 plus years, he's only seen 2 patients handle it the way I did. So I was very grateful, blessed. Most people do, they throw up a lot from the chemotherapy. I never threw up. That was just an insight to how my body reacted to it, me being from college, young, healthy, all those things. But the second time around, what happens is you get done. Second time around, I was 20. So if that happened 22, I was 23.
Okay.
23 going on 24, I believe. Yep.
So it came right back.
It did. It came right back. I came right back in the sense that what happens is when you're done with the chemotherapy, you go back for checkups. And I was 6 months removed. I did my 3 month. Everything was good. I went back for 6 months. And when I went back for 6 months, it was a cold day. Right? I was home, had just finished work, and I got a call from the doctor's office, and it was a missed call. And for something, my spirit was just telling me this call probably is not good because I missed it. They left a message. I didn't even listen to the voice message. I just called back. And the nurse, she said to me, yeah, so we saw something on your scans again. And that right there, she didn't have to say anything else. Shattered. My whole heart, my demeanor, my everything. And right where I was at, I hung up the phone and I cried like a baby. I cried.
What are you saying to yourself though? What you saying to God? You saying something, right? Are you? Or is it just
yeah,
pain?
It's pain. And you know, the first thing like most humans would ask is why? You know, why me? And I took that one night specifically to say, woe is me. You know, why? Why me? And I really was. I was broken. You know, I laid in the bed. I really didn't want to do anything. But I said, after this is over, this night, let's go. We've been here before. This one may be a little different, but we gotta get through this. It's things that we have to do. There's places we have to go. There's life to live. There's people you have to help. You know, but that was me broken. I was truly and utterly and fiercely broken.
All the pieces on the ground.
On the ground. Like man, I was like, man, you know how you drop something and you trying to pick it up? Yeah, that was me. That was me all in that ugly cry. Nobody around. You think about that. I'm a million miles away from all of my family. I had just triumphed through the first time around and boom, it was just waiting on me.
Oh, you're by yourself?
By myself.
Okay. So you're
by
still
myself.
In
Chicago.
Chicago by the time.
Chicago. And the reason why I said best and worst, brightest and darkest place is because I've never had more fun as a human being than I have in Chicago, living on my own, just seeing a new way of life. But the darkest is because I think about some of those days where I didn't even want to open my eyes. I didn't. I really did not. Just, can I sleep all day?
Yes.
I wanted to sleep all day long. And it was just from a bunch of things. You know, the physical pain was one thing, bearable. But just also, man, I got to wake up and think about how much longer this is going to be. I can't leave. There was a point where it was 21 days where I couldn't leave a room. I had to stay in a room for 21 days, no contact from anybody but the doctors.
Because of how weak your
immune system, yeah, it was depleted. So anything like a speck of dust, yeah. Because what they actually did was took every red blood cell that I had out of my body. All of them. All of the, don't quote me, it was either the red or white ones.
Because you know the trolls going to be in the comment. Like,
come on now.
That ain't medical. That's not what they do. You can't live with all your red
let me talk to the camera real quick. I done had cancer. Okay, this the real deal. Stem cell transplant. No, but honestly, they took whatever they did though. They depleted me of all my cells. Okay. And they were actually next to me on a machine, and I could see, you know, all of these. They were red blood cells. And what that did was, by taking them all out, they took out the bad ones and the good ones, sifted through and threw away all the bad ones and replenished me with all good ones that reproduce good. So that was how weak my immune system was. I couldn't do anything. My skin color, you see this jacket I have on, was the same. My skin color was the same. Lost all my hair, no eyebrows. I show people sometimes and they're like, that's not you. You know, but hey, here I am standing. So broken, been broken, but I'm whole.
You're whole now.
I'm whole.
That's good. We was gonna get it. You're whole now.
I'm whole.
Okay, that's good. So broken. Is that the only thing that has broken you? The cancer?
When we're talking about truly being broken, to my spirit,
yeah, to your spirit.
That's the one thing that has broken me. There has been times, being a child growing up in the church, where just the spirit, you know, you walk into church on any given Sunday and you feel like you are broken, you know, just from where you may be in life or what's going on. And, you know, you cry out. If you went to the churches that I went to, right? Baptist church, Kojic, you know, whatever you want to go to, you know, they in there screaming, crying, yelling, running. And I've been in a position where I've cried in church before. I wouldn't say I was broken, but that was a downtrodden time.
Okay.
Nothing specific, but from time to time.
Conviction.
Correct. There we go. Come on, somebody. Conviction was what it was. Knowing that you're not necessarily walking in the will of the Lord, not doing the things that are supposed to be done, that you should be doing, living a life that is not conducive to the path that God has for you. Those types of things, from time to time, but not really breaking me,
Okay.
but in that moment feeling like I'm broken.
Oh, okay, that's good actually. So then your brokenness, was it anything that silenced you? Are you silenced in brokenness, or are you vocal? Do you speak? What do you do in brokenness?
When I'm broken and I'm just thinking about where I was, if I'm loud, it's because I'm talking to God. I don't look for refuge anywhere else because I know it's not going to lie anywhere else. I'm talking to the man. He my homeboy, so if I'm loud, that's who I'm talking to. If I cry, that's one thing, but I'm not seeking a solution anywhere else. A lot of times people find it in a bottle, or going a place that makes them feel a certain type of way. Nah, not me.
Do you compare yourself to others in your broken season, or even being whole? Do you look at others and compare yourself to
No.
where you may be and where you may be?
I don't do it, and I subconsciously don't do it.
Okay.
Because I understand that is the number one thing to hinder yourself. I can't worry about what others have or don't have, or what they're doing or not doing based off of my situation. I was on Facebook yesterday, just happened to go on real quick, and I saw a post, and I'm gonna quote who it was too, the Pastor Pope. Everybody know him around Broward County, and he put up a post. It said, you can't expect people to, I'm paraphrasing, you can't expect people to understand your calling the way that you do. It's not called a conference call for a reason. I said, oh, wow. That was good. That's good. So, no, I don't, naturally you have the, instinct to, and I can't say that I haven't before, but on a subconscious regular basis, I can't. It's dangerous.
How do you heal? How did you heal? And I say, how do you heal? Because even though you was broken deep in that brokenness, even little things, like how you say you was going to the church and it just be little things that'll make you cry. Even now, there may be little things that just get you like okay. How do you heal? How do you overcome? And then how did you, even with the cancer? Are you healed from going through that cancer?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
How did you heal, and then how do you heal with the little things? What do you do in real life? What do you do?
Yeah. So going in order. First of all, with cancer, I am healed. I'm cancer free. Physically, I'm healed. Mentally, I'm also healed.
Okay.
I can have a conversation for hours about it. People sometimes they don't know if I want to talk about it, or they tread lightly around the conversation, but it happened to me for a reason. And that is why I can say I'm healed, because I understood that the purpose was not necessarily for me, but it's a story that needed to be told. And the way that I healed from it is I stop and think for a second, right? I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, in the Lord. And I understand that it's so cliche-ish, but he won't give you things that you can't handle. That goes for any individual. When I realized that my shoulders may be able to bear the burden of something that's 2 tons, opposed to a person 2 pounds might be heavy for them. But you can't discount their situation because yours may seem heavier, or it may be more burdensome. So the way that I was able to heal, and the way that I did heal, is again by reverting back to home. Knowing that God is my refuge. He won't give me things that I can't bear. He will not allow me to perish if my work is not done. There wasn't one moment that I thought I was going to pass away. Not one.
Okay.
I cried one day. I gave myself that. But I said, you know what, let's go. We got life to live. You know, so whatever they got for me, let's go. What we doing? So that was healing there. I found that healing in God. You know, that again, I'm not looking for solutions elsewhere because ain't nobody got it for me. You know, ain't nobody. What can you do? What can man do for me? Respectfully.
Yeah.
What can man do for me? But yes, even moving forward, it's always a rest and reset. What am I doing? How have I gotten to this point? What has allowed me to get to this point? Because we always try to look at outside factors, right? But you have to look at the man in the mirror. So that's the first part of the healing process. Is it as bad as I really think it is? Did I have a bad day? Or were these 5 minutes of my day bad? Am I really as far off the mark, you know, as I want to be? Or am I comparing myself and not where I think I should be? And once you stop and assess those things, you can start working. If it's on yourself, that be one thing. If it's in a career, that'd be another thing. And that is part of the healing process and making sure that just as much time and energy as you put into things outwardly, you're pouring that same time and energy into yourself so that you can become whole.
So this isn't. I'm going off script for real. Let's talk about football.
Yep.
You gotta give us a breakdown of who he was as a football player.
It's funny that we transition to this because this is probably a harder subject to talk about than cancer, than everything. Because
football is harder to talk about.
Right, and here's why. I thought I was broken. From the time I was 4, I played football, organized football. Started playing contact football at the age of 7. And throughout, what's every boy's dream who picks up a football, especially one who's excels at it, you know? Same dream. I wanted to make millions. Right now, I'm supposed to be in Miami getting ready for the next season. Right now, to this day. So I was good enough that it paid for education for me in college. And in college, it didn't go as planned in the sense that I didn't have the same type of success that I have always had. But it was twofold. It was me not realizing who I needed to be and who I was, thinking I was somebody else.
Wait, speak on that. Go deeper.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Oh my God.
Hindsight is 20/20. And even more crazy about that, one of my coworkers, you know, people are real funny who you work with. Everywhere, everybody got funny coworkers. He said, you know what, it's 2021 and hindsight is really 20/20 now. I was like, okay. Right. I was like, okay. Right. It was good. I love bad jokes.
I love bad jokes. I love bad jokes.
But hindsight is 20/20, and my 2 coaches.
Wait, before you speak on the hindsight, speak on Dareyon in that moment.
Correct.
What was going on with Dareyon?
Dareyon thought that he was better than what he thought than what he was.
Okay.
He thought that things were under control. I can handle it. I got it. I know they said do this, but I'm handling it. I'm good. I'm still here, right? So what's the problem? That was my attitude towards things. Not necessarily a bad apple.
Yeah.
Still doing the things that I needed to and that were asked of me football-wise. But not necessarily doing it exactly how they tell you to do it.
Okay.
Right? So when you can't really see that, you thinking, okay, they told me to run up this wall. But coach said, run up the wall, starting going right, then left, then straight. But you like, it don't matter how I got up the wall. Ain't I'm up the wall?
Okay.
You don't see those things when you in it. You know, hindsight is 20/20. I wasn't who I was supposed to be or who I needed to be. I thought that I was. Quickly touching on my 2 coaches, they taught me lessons that at the time were way over my head. Saying things and doing things that hurt me in a sense because I was being pulled away from my true love, football.
Okay.
But literally sending me in the direction that life has taken me. Teaching me lessons that only football can teach me.
Okay.
And only the right people in those places can teach you those things. So being broken, I thought I was broken with football.
Okay.
And here's why. When I didn't make it to the pinnacle,
Wait, let's speak on that though. You gotta give us up there. You tried.
I was good, y'all. I was good.
You gotta speak on you tried.
I'm a.
So college is done, or college is getting ready to.
Well, here's what it is. I'm the man in the neighborhood in Little League. I'm the man in high school. I get to college and I'm still the man. I'm a freshman. I'm the true freshman. My first game ever playing running back. And I played special teams as a return specialist. My first game ever was against Michigan State. If you know football, if you know sports in general, college sports, that's one of the historical all-time greatest teams. And I was playing as a true freshman. There were 13 other true freshmen from Fort Lauderdale, or from Florida, I should say. And I was one of the, let's call it 4, who were playing as a true freshman. My first carry ever, first touch on the ball was against the number one linebacker in the nation, who was on his way to the NFL, and I fumbled. I fumbled the ball. Not because he did anything extraordinary, but I truly believe it was written from God. And here's why. I'm going to describe the play for you.
Okay.
Loud. It's third and 4. We're driving on their 50.
Sorry.
The quarterback calls audible. I'm so locked in. I know the audible. Oh, I'm about to get the ball. The play wasn't originally for me, but I say, all right, I'm about to get the ball. I'm going to get this first, and I think I'm going to score. He audible. I check. Oh, okay, we good. It's an option. We run the option. He pitch it to me. I catch it. I get the first down. I'm about to pick up more yards. I meet Greg. I can't remember his last name. Greg something. But if you look it up, 2010, he was the number 1 linebacker in the nation. I let the ball go. I just let it go. If you watch the play, he didn't tackle me gruesomely. I'm 5'5", y'all. I weigh, at the time, 170 pounds. This dude was 6'3", 250, moving like he was a guy my size. He barely laid a hand on me, and I just let the ball go. And to make it even more crazy, the distance from the sideline to where I was about 2 yards. The ball rolled and stopped right before the sideline. Why didn't it just go out of bounds? Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. So I got a little deep into the story, but I was good. I was good enough to play as a true freshman against Michigan State. So that's not to toot my own horn. That's where we come from, right? Moving through, I ended up I got hurt my next year, right? So I missed the whole season. So I medical red shirted. But I didn't medical red shirt until my last season of college football. So I played 5. I stayed for 5, but I played 4.
Okay.
In that tenure, I had 2 coaches. One was a older, more traditional guy. The other one was the exact opposite. Literally, he was 33 years old. We 21-year-old men, 20, 22 at the most. He's a 33-year-old head coach for a college football team full of other men, young men though. Both taught me invaluable lessons that will never, ever, ever leave me to the day that I die. And the reason that I say I thought I was broken, because when we fast forward from college and me not making it to where I thought I should be as far as a football player in my career, when that was over and I had to accept the fact that I would no longer.
I want you to you went through it. What made you finally accept this is it? Because you tried.
Okay, so let's go back to college. I say, you know what? I see I'm not going to be an NFL player. Let's get a job. I get a job. I go to Chicago. I have the time of my life. I'm in Chicago for, let's call it on the high end, 3 months. Boom, I get sick, terminally ill. What's going on? I recover. Happens again, I recover again. Now, I'm a year removed, but the whole time, football has always resided in my heart. So while I'm in Chicago having a great time and doing all these things, nobody don't really know I'm going to camps. I'm going to CFL camps. I'm staying in the gym every day because just in case, you know. I'm like, just in case they call your boy, I got to be ready. So I was doing that, not really fully accepting the fact that, hey, this may be it, especially after I got hurt or sick. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to go back to Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to be around my family. But not only am I going to go home, I'm going to pursue my football dream 1,000%. I'm going to dive in this thing 1,000%. So in 2017, the summer of 2017, I went through a whole regimen of training as if I was going into the NFL Combine again. Spent the whole summer waking up 5 a.m., working out, running, drills, lifting weights till about noon. Actually, I hit the field till about noon. Went to the weight room till about 2 o'clock. I would come home, sleep for an hour, eat, wake up, go to work at Target. Work at Target all the way to sometimes 2 in the morning. Go home, wake up and do it all again. I did that for a solid year. And when that year was over, I had one opportunity to play football in a very known but small time position out in South Dakota, and let's call it arena football. That's what it was. Arena football, indoor football. And if anybody know that, once you get to arena, just being real, you might want to hang it up, big dog.
Just being real.
Yeah. Like, you either playing just because you purely love it and just want to have activity, but your chances of making it out of that and into the next level, whether it be CFL, whether it be whatever, it's kind of slim. You know, it's very slim. Very, very far, few and far between make it. And it was in that little crunch right there that I was like, yeah,
It's over.
it's a wrap.
Okay.
I was like, you know what, that's it.
This is a year after you been back home?
I've been home, trained from 17 to the opposite side of 17, so the new year. And like I said, I had the one opportunity, and once I was like, you know what, I'm not taking this opportunity. I'm going to where? To do what? With what income? And what if I get hurt and all that? It's time to be an American, a civilian, my guy. it's time. And that was me thinking I was broken. Because you have to part ways. Right. You have to part ways with what has been your true love all your life. I started playing when I was 4. I'm 20, what was that, 3 years ago, 25 now? I'm ancient in football years. If you're 25, you halfway in your career. If you're going to play professionally, you're lucky. God's lucky if they make it to 28, 29, 30. You know, those are the blessed dudes. NFL, not for long. That's what it stands for. So me thinking I was broken and having to succumb to the fact that, man, I have to get a regular job now. I just got to go do a 9 to 5. Which I really don't have a problem with and didn't have a problem with. But I just thought that I would never find the same fulfillment anywhere. Never that I got from football. So that was me thinking I was broken.
Seen big pain, big loss, but still been big blessed. All that cat, big stress. All y'all want big house, big car, big ice, big checks. Man, I wish y'all did.
That's a wrap, crew. That's a wrap, crew.